I'm Bob Rosenschein. Pleasure to be here, and to also see so many friendly faces and friends' faces. I'm here to tell you about a company which is based in Jerusalem, which is a top 20 US website, and nobody knows it's Israeli. It's called Answers.com. I'm the founder and CEO. I'm going to start with a simple question that it actually affects everybody in the Jewish community in a way. Here's a simple question. What is the difference between an immigrant tailor and a Supreme Court justice?
Okay.
One generation. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now, I connect very personally to this particular question because I'm a first-generation American, born and raised in Pennsylvania, went to school in Boston at MIT, but I've lived in Israel for the last 27 years, and I ended up founding a company in 1999 in Jerusalem, of all places. But the story of Israel is one we should all be proud of. It really is a startup nation. And when you think startup, you think of a small group of people who are doing exciting things, who get into it with passion, who have problems, ups, downs. And in a startup, if someone joins, you're happy. If someone leaves the company for whatever reason, you're sad. It's that small, it's that connected. And in that way, Israel is a startup nation. But it's no coincidence that Israel hosts laboratories from IBM, Motorola, AOL, Intel, Microsoft. Google has 2 labs in Israel. Yahoo just opened one. If you're using a cell phone or an instant messenger, or a firewall, or an antivirus protector, or a Centrino chip, or Windows, or medical devices, or clean energy. These are areas of tremendous interest where you are using Israeli technology. Those of you who haven't read the book yet, I highly recommend it. My friend and neighbor, Saul Singer, Startup Nation, and Dan Seymour. It's a big hit. It's also very interesting. It talks about the attitude. Why? What is it about Israel that brings out such entrepreneurship? Some people say it's the army, some people say it's the education, some people say it's the attitude and the culture. Israelis have a very direct method of questioning authority. I don't know if you ever heard the joke, my friend David collects a lexicon of Hebrew-English translations. I'll share one of them with you. How do you say in Hebrew, I'm sorry, sir, we seem to be temporarily out of that item. If you like, I can back order it and tell you when it arrives, or perhaps refer you to a different establishment which may be able to help you quicker. End. No, we're out. It is the attitude, it is the directness, it is the getting down, rolling up your sleeves, and solving problems that does differentiate Israeli business. No BS. Very direct, and I think we're proud to have here today my friend and mentor. I think this is Israel's secret weapon. You'll hear more later. Yossi Vardi is just a force of nature. He's also a very generous, smart man, wonderful. He's one of the early investors in our company, but I'm just very proud to be associated with him. And it also proves in my mind the story of Israel. Israel is a country where individuals can make an enormous difference, like anywhere. But in a country the size of Israel, where we rely so much on people's contributions, it's just good to have forces of nature, such as Yossi Vardi. I'll tell you a little bit about our company. I'm going to run through it very quickly. What is Answers.com? We want to make it the easiest place in the world on the web to get answers about anything. We have a reference, 250 all-in-one encyclopedias and dictionaries. We have a Q&A community. People asking questions, people answering questions. We're up to 8.7 million answers in our database, and growing. It's all about people. We'll return to this. Here's just a picture of the way the product looks. If you go to Answers.com, I looked up asthma. It's the everything you want to know about asthma page. We have many dictionaries and encyclopedias all rolled into one for free. By the way, people always ask, I'll just share with you, some of you probably know the answer. But how does a company on the internet make money? I always get this question, even from sophisticated investors. And the answer is, there are ads. There are ads on the side of the page. There are ads inline. Some ads are called display ads. We make money if we show the ads. Some ads are performance ads. We make money if you click on them. But that's the basic idea. Reference answers. We also have something called Wiki Answers, which is quite amazing. It's people asking questions, people answering questions. So here someone asks, I see, do you claim workman's compensation on your income taxes? And somebody actually went in and answered that question. They took the time. Why did they do it? Recognition, passion. You know, each of you has knowledge, has a passion. Each of you is an expert at something. So if you want to share that passion, share that knowledge, you can contribute to the database. We're happy to have more and more knowledge in the system. But what's interesting about this particular system, we call it a wiki, because if you want to improve the answer, you found a spelling mistake, you found a factual mistake, you can click this button over here. It says improve, and you can actually edit the answer just like Wikipedia. Answers.com is the Wikipedia of questions and answers. We also have something called video answers, where we engage the user with fun videos about thousands of subjects, tens of thousands. We find this is a whole cycle. The more questions we get, the more answers we get. The more answers we get, the more traffic we get, and around, and it really has helped the site grow. As of now, and this is the little known fact, you're looking at an Israeli company, which is a top 20 US website. In terms of unique visitors, we have close to 50 million monthly unique visitors in the United States. That's a big number. We just passed Craigslist and Walmart.com. Thank you. we had plenty of hard years. I had no white hair when I started the company, but it does remind me of the Al Jolson quote. Al Jolson once said, it took me 10 years to become an overnight sensation. Anyway, the opportunities are enormous. Okay, there's the international opportunity. We're expanding into French, Italian, German, Spanish. Spanish is, by the way, interesting, of course, for the American Hispanic market also. Second opportunity, and it's a big one, is mobile. We're so excited because in the future, and you have to realize this, the age of the PC only, where all the work is done on a laptop or a desktop, is passing. Oh, believe me, the laptop and desktop are going to disappear. We'll sell, people will sell tens of millions and hundreds of millions of units a year. That's not the point. But it's all spreading out to other devices. Of course, mobile. And I don't just mean iPhone, I don't just mean Android, I don't mean BlackBerry RIM, Nokia, you name it. It's just growing because people are not always at their desk when they need an answer. Okay, it's growing in many ways. The iPad is going to have a significant impact. Why? It's just more portable. It's simple. So it's a little early to write the obituary for the laptop and the desktop, far from it. But you will see a bifurcation. You will see more and more kinds of devices in the market over the next coming years. The other area you should be aware of, I'm sure many of you are signed up on Facebook or Twitter, but it's a very cool area. It's all about, we are so overloaded in today's society. It used to be that if you needed information about something, you go to Google or Yahoo. Nowadays, and you still go to Google and Yahoo again, they're large, functioning, growing, profitable, enormously powerful sites. However, more and more people are finding pages to look at on the internet that their friends recommended. In other words, I'm so busy that when I see someone quotes an interesting article in today's LA Times, I'll click on it. I would not have found it by myself. I don't have time to go to the LA Times maybe. However, my friend recommended it, I'm there. More and more traffic is being driven by social networks. Look what's happening to this blue line. This is Facebook. Facebook is growing enormously at the expense of some of the other sites, up to close to 500 million users. So what are we going to do? We are implementing in Answers.com social media connectors, so you can get in using Facebook. We're also connecting to Twitter, and I'm going to show you an example of how you would use Twitter. Twitter is it's a system where, if you haven't used it yet, where you can just tweet small messages. 140 characters, say whatever you want. Whoever's listening or following might listen, might not listen. It's just over the web, and you can follow each other. So here's an example. I'm going to tweet. I'm going to type in here a question that I thought might be relevant a little bit for something Israel related. So I tweeted, what were the names of the 12 tribes of Israel at Answers.com? And look what happened. Answers.com answered me. All you have to do is include at Answers.com, spell it out, and there you get it. And I got an answer directly from the system. I can also click for more information, and it takes me to the whole page with the full explanation. So that's the basic idea. We're extremely excited about social media. The last thing I want to tell you, it's all about the people. It's about the people. And I say that to the people in this room. I say that about a small country called Israel, where everybody makes a difference. I say that about our company. It is what makes it excel. You make a difference, your knowledge makes a difference, and that's the exciting part of business in my opinion. The conclusion, very simple. Answers.com is profitable, top 20 site. We have $25 million in the bank. We're growing. We're excited. Come visit us, use us. And my name is Bob Rosenschein, and you can reach me at bob@answers.com.